Hey traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you on May the 19th, Sunday, with a look at the S&P 500 sectors plus a couple extra that I am looking at present. I added the Dow Jones Steel Index and the XBI because I've been trading both of these over the past week. Noting that IYR continues its trend, as well as IYT, SMH, XLB, XLE, XLF, XLI. So relative strength in the offensive sectors reflects a strong appetite for risk and is basically very healthy for the market. So with the XLU, the XLP, and XLV down, and basic materials and energy higher, we have to look to those sectors for our setups. We also have breadth indicators indicating new highs on the S&P. So there's no surprise that the strength in the breadth is confirming this continued move in the spiders in all the S&P 500 sectors, sans the defensive sectors. Looking at the NYSE summation index, we can see that we had a crossover in April and we continue to move higher. Looking at the NYMA, we can see we bounced off of zero and moving higher, with the NYA continuing its thrust up to and above 9,500. Looking at UST, we can see how the spiders have been outperforming bonds as well. The 7-10-year Treasury has been in a downtrend over the past couple of weeks and is weak compared to the spiders. Looking at a three-line break chart on the comp, you can see that this has really been hustling over the month of May, hustling higher. We can see the number of stocks on the S&P 500 above their 50-period moving average is also moving higher. And the NASI summation index is moving higher off of this April crossover as well and taking out these highs. The three-line break chart on the S&P 500 is also hustling higher, just as the comp had in the previous charts. Note the relative strength continues to stay up here above 70, which, by the way, a lot of people overuse that term, overbought, but in many cases it also means that the strength in the trend is continuing. Three-line break chart on the Russell is also strong. We can see ADX is dipped and moving higher. Relative strength is up here at these levels. You want to watch the Russell in terms of this higher high, and you want to see the relative strength get back up here as well. Looking at the relative performance, the spiders relative to the US dollar, we can see that we are pretty much correlated. We are moving a little bit higher relative to the US dollar, but we are outperforming on the spiders. On a relative basis, the spiders relative to the commodities are obviously outperforming there as well, as one would expect. After breaking out of this base pattern in December, the spiders have outperformed commodities the entire first part of the year. Spiders compared to the emerging markets, you can see the relative strength, as well as this breakout here. And since the beginning of 2013, we broke out of this base and continued to outperform. Spiders outperform the emerging markets. SPY relative to gold is moving higher as well. And the last one is SPY relative to TLT, which we continue to outperform TLT in the month of May. Looking at the dollar, we broke out above these levels that GTO has been pointing out in the room for some time. This is the daily chart. Note the relative strength and the fact that the spiders are moving higher as well. This little dip gave us that relative performance, the spiders over the US dollar, but we are positively correlated. So note the Bollinger Bands are opening up, volatility is increasing, and stochastics is overbought on the dollar. The Dow Jones continues to move higher as well. Note we had this crossover of the 10-period EMA and the 30-period moving average. We bottomed here and we've been in this uptrend since December. We've had 1, 2, 3 pullbacks into a box setup. If you follow me at all, you know what I'm talking about. We've had this box here, these 3 boxes, and we continue to move higher and look for our next box setup. Now I posted a number of setups over the weekend, today and yesterday. And if you go over my StockTwits page, you can see the trades that I posted. I'll go over them very briefly. Basically, most of them are in the XLE as well as the chip sector, which has been doing quite well. So looking through these trades, you can see Cree, which is one of my more favorite charts going into the week. You can see the box trades here since that crossover. Again, in January, we had 3 pullbacks. We're looking for a 4th pullback. The stock is looking pretty strong. Taiwan Semiconductor, nice little cup, 2 months. Put in this little handle. We dropped down into a box. We continue to look good here. Stochastics is moving lower. So I'd like to see this turn, if not bottom here shortly, and price move sideways inside of this box. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to take off, and I'll show you why. A chart of SMH gives you a nice flag here. We're holding the 10-period EMA. We broke out of this ascending triangle pattern, which is a continuation pattern, and we're embedded up here. It's not a bad thing. This just means that there's a lot of strength in this current move. MACD is flattening out here. It could turn back down. I will be watching both of these on SMH. XLE is also looking very strong. We broke above this level here, resistance level that goes back a ways, those highs in 2011. So we broke above this level here, and we're moving higher on the daily. Alright, so let's take a look at some stocks in the sector. This is let's go to Spiders XLE. Just scroll down. I just type in SPDR and then I scroll down to the sector itself. Right here, energy. If you use free stock charts, which I would recommend, then you can just use your space bar and you can space right through these. You can see Tesoro looks good. A bounce off of a box set up here. Marathon, break of a trend line. Stochastics is down below 0, looking like it wants to come up. Stochastics looks set up. Valero looks pretty good. Nice clean chart, uptrend. We're going to have a crossover here of the 10-period, 30-period. Stochastics has some room to go. This can get overbought in the stochastics, and MACD would keep you in. Just shows you how much strength would be in to keep us embedded up here. We have a nice downtrend since March that we're breaking out of this pattern, or appear to be anyway, with a crossover here. So we see this moving average, the 10-period move higher. We could see the price continue to move with the 10-period EMA. Helmerich and Payne, HP. You can see a nice pattern here. This is old. You can see the pattern. We broke above. We're flagged along the 10-period EMA, and we're launching higher. We could look for this level up here as a potential area over the next few weeks as a target. Looking at Cabot, nice sideways box pattern here that we could break above. Note where stochastics and stochastics and MACD is. A lot of these charts are looking pretty strong. EQT, a pennant pattern here on the 10-period. We're breaking above that level. Halliburton. We had a box trade on Diamond Offshore, which we launched out of, for 69. So a $3 move since that point. Baker Hughes looks like a lot of other stocks in this sector. Coming up to resistance, it's possible that we could break above these levels depending on where stochastics and MACD are. Anadarko, Occidental Petroleum, strong stock, flagged, came back down to breakout level and then bounced off of that and is moving and hugging the 10-period moving average, moving higher. I have this in my 401k and my wife's IRA. Cameron, this one was looking good if I remember. Yep, nice box here coming up in the near future possibly. ExxonMobil, I believe Trader Stewie's trading this one. CNX console, looking at the semis. Let's just type in semi, and then we can get the broad line. We could select these. I've already posted these to stock charts, StockTwits, so you can check those out. But if you look at the spiders semiconductor index and you go through these, AMD had a box set up on Thursday. If you managed to get that, stochastics is still overbought, but MACD is showing strength. Cypress Semiconductor, someone asked me about this on StockTwits, moving sideways. Nice trend here, but coming up to resistance. Nvidia broke out of a base and it's moving higher. Been moving sideways for 6 or 8 months and it finally launched out of this. LSI, nice crossover here, holding the 10-period. If there shows any weakness and comes back into this zone here for a nice box trade at some point, let me know. I may not see this particular entry. Going up to resistance, MU, I'm in this one, been in this one for some time. Covered this on a video I posted on Friday. We flagged below the 127 and now we're moving higher. My next target is 1618. Also check out the weekly because the weekly looks pretty strong as well. You can see we have this double bottom and a big cup and handle. Waiting for the handle up here at the 1618 and previous highs back in 2011, just south of $12 a share. IDTI, I pointed this particular stock out. I liked a lot of things that are going on here. 4.42% short. Notice the previous breakout pattern that we trended for over a month. Now we're moving sideways. We're breaking out of this pattern, moving higher. It's a possibility this one could move and trend as well. The rule is you have a box base like this, or one of these bases, you trade the trend momentum direction, which obviously is up in this case, so it's a bullish case for these stocks. Texas Instruments showed a nice box base. You can see October, November, we had a crossover. Okay, at any rate, you note that the stochastics looks like it wants to turn back over, and MACD looks like the histogram looks like it's stopped, maybe starts to turn higher out of this box base and continues to trend upwards on Texas Instruments. Intel was a box base, a box set up last week, and we can see that we could launch out of this higher. This is a slow moving stock, so I'm not that interested in it, but Cree is in this group as I mentioned before. LED technology, which is not going away anytime soon. We had this crossover in January. We have 11.21% short. This has dropped a little bit since this move higher. 3.7 days to cover. We have a box base possible setting up here, or we could just continue to hold the 10-period EMA. Now what I will be doing on Monday is watching this trade as it trades around its pivots points. This is the Friday pivots. But if this starts to trend higher, I will be watching Cree for an entry. Long. EasyChip is another one. EZCH. Watch this one. It's got 13% short. That's 15 days to cover. So this horizontal line here is a weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly. And we can jump back to this. We can see these areas here where we bounced off of this level here. And then we lost it in early 2013. That became support, became resistance, so that we have that right here that we tested. The thing I like the most about it is this high short percent interest, and if we get above this level, it could be very interesting. Let's take a look at EasyChip. Has a nice Kirby here. So once we get up into this area, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. We pop into this level with 13% short. So I really like this chart a lot. AMCC is another chart that I like a lot. Very pretty chart. Note the 12 days to cover on this one too. 9.16 short. Note where MACD and stochastics is, but we do have a box set up here that you might want to check out. We had a crossover of the 10 period, 30 period, and we could see this continue to move higher. So I'm just be watching this one during the week, AMC. Alright, so that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from Day Trader Bootcamp as well as theclosingprint.com, where there's a lot of strategies that you can learn about that I use during the day. Mostly use the 30-minute opening range, the box setup, and the 5-minute R1 that HCPG uses a lot. Also check out some of the videos I have here. If this is becoming a Better Trader series that I posted on April the 21st, this teaches you the box setup. This is MU Micron trade. I described that on Friday. Also check out this setup this guy posted online on YouTube. I'm looking at doing this with a Mac based setup. Instead of, he has 3 cinema monitors here, I'm looking for 3 up here as well. He has Dells at present on a monitor stand. Would be quite nice. Also have all these tutorials here on the right side that you may want to take a look at, and previous box trades that we traded, Micron included, as well as WFC, a double trend line intersection that we traded off of this. You can see where this went over the next few weeks. We had a nice run from this entry at 36.30 up to 39, plus $3, so that was really nice. And we have Yahoo, which may be getting set up this week on another drop down into a box or holding this 10 period EMA. Yahoo's buying companies left and right, so I'll be keeping an eye on this one going into the week. Alright, so this is Cousin Vinny. Take care. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.